Goodness. That was some ball, wasn't it? It was lovely. It was stupendous. I thoroughly enjoyed myself. Thank you for helping me get ready. Would you perhaps be willing to run a bath for me? I'm sorry, are you all right? Oh, no, you don't look like anything, it's just, usually you're rather more enthusiastic about helping me. I mean, you are my personal servant, after all. You're clearly not fine, all right? You groaned there. What's wrong? Have I done something to upset you? I certainly hope not. I really appreciate the work you do for me, you know. You're not fine, you're exhausted. Obviously. You can tell me what's going on. I promise, whatever it is, it's fine. I want you to be able to be honest with me, you know? It's like, you know, I always try to be honest with you and casual with you as much as I can, because all other aspects of my life are observed, controlled. Father had this line of suitors, all trying to beg for my hand, and I had to be so polite and so sweet, even as they were all just after my title or money or body. I like that I can relax around you and be honest with how I feel. I like that I can tell you that those suitors are all depraved pigs, unworthy of my time. I want you to be able to speak honestly with me too. I don't want you to feel like you need to hide anything, even if it's something you think might upset me. So, dear servant, if you are exhausted, you can tell me. If I've been working you too hard, there are other servants in the castle. I can ask them to help. You... what? You were in the kitchens the entire ball, cooking, the whole time. But no, that doesn't make sense, because you helped me to prepare for the ball. You helped me lace up this stupid little corset. You did my makeup, you did my hair. My room is in immaculate condition. You've clearly done a lot of work in here. Have you even eaten today? How can you possibly squeeze in time for all the work you've already done for me and then spending the entire ball in the kitchens, cooking, and then... You did the dishes as well, didn't you? They had you do that. And now here I am asking you to... Oh, gods have mercy. Was there really no one else who could have done some of that? No, you're going to stay right there. You are not going to run me a bath. Not on your life. Not after the day and the night you have had. You do so much for me. You know that, right? You work so hard for me, for my family, for the kingdom. I will not have you push yourself past your limits. I refuse that. In fact, I believe what you deserve and what would make me the most happy as your lady is if you enjoyed a night of rest and relaxation courtesy of myself. Oh, I'm quite serious. You might think me some pampered princess who's never worked a day in her life, but, well, true as that may honestly be, I'm capable of running a bath, of doing my own hair, simply, at least. You're not to work a moment more tonight. All right? In fact, I'd like you to sit down at my vanity. Can you do that? Just take a seat for me. Well, we're going to walk through my bedtime routine, all right? The whole thing. First, I'm going to brush your hair. I've always found it soothing to have someone brush my hair, even if it's not tangled or really necessary. All right? So just stay still and I'll get to work, all right? Your hair really is quite lovely. Did you know that? It's nice and thick. The kind of thing I'd like to just run my fingers through, just for the fun of it, you know? The colour too. It suits you. Honestly, if my father presented you as a suitor, I don't know that I would be quite so hasty to refuse you. Were you only noble? But that is the way of things. Could never marry below my station. I've duties and all that. But this isn't about me or my troubles. This is about you and your relaxation. So, simply take comfort in the knowledge that I find you appealing, provided you're interested in the attentions of a princess. You know, it's not actually uncommon for ladies of the court to have dabblings before they're wed. As a matter of fact, it's rather common. With you, I most assuredly wouldn't be opposed. But that's only if you're interested. Just wanted to extend the offer. Oh, you blush so fiercely. It's adorable. Well, you needn't decide today, all right? Take your time. Think about it. Decide when you're ready, provided I'm not wed by the time you're ready. If it reaches that point, well, then it would be most improper and land me in quite a bit of trouble. Knowing you, well, you prefer to avoid trouble for me, don't you? So diligent, so kind. Oof, bit of a tangle there, isn't there? All right. So kind and sweet to me. Your service really is so meaningful, whether you realize it or no. There we are. Feeling a bit more relaxed now, if perhaps a bit flustered. Well, I suppose it's not every day one is propositioned by a princess, is it? Oh, you're adorable. Now then, next up, because we are doing my entire typical routine, so we're going to go ahead. We're going to open up this little tub of moisturizing cream. I like to apply it to my face before bed. It helps prevent breakouts and all that. Very useful considering I wear makeup all day. So I'm just going to, there we go, nice little cloth. You've applied this to me many times. I think it's about my turn. Oh yes, it is rather expensive. This tub cost roughly the amount of a well-bred horse. But it's okay. It's only for tonight. You needn't worry about the cost, okay? Enjoy the luxury. Let me know if I'm pressing too roughly. I want this to be a pleasant and enjoyable experience for you. So this is for your own comfort, your own relaxation after the day you've had. Have you eaten, by the way? I know I mentioned before that I wondered how you could have squeezed it in, but... pilfered a few snacks from the party. Good. You worked so very hard on that food. It's only right that you should get to sample it. What was your favourite? I'm always one for crab, myself. though it's rather frowned upon by my father. Even still, he can't stop me. There's just something so satisfying to me about the experience of cracking open a leg. Is that a bit... Well, it's rather unbecoming of a princess, I'll admit that much, but... Oh, I don't know. People are animals, aren't we? It's like I'm tapping into something primal. It's an indulgence I allow myself. And though father complains, he hasn't stopped me, so clearly it's not that bad. Yes, those little dinner rolls, they were delicious. They had what was it? Tuna baked into them, didn't they? You made those? Well, they were divine. How much did I eat? Well, that's a rather personal question, isn't it? There's lots to know about eating formally as a courtier of any kind. You're expected to sample most dishes. It's just... well, there's rather a lot of them. 5 courses, all with so many options it'll make you dizzy. Not to mention, during the ball itself, all the servants running about with trays of drinks and hors d'oeuvres. So, broadly speaking, you'll be having essentially a bite of everything, but no more than a bite for everything but your absolute favourites. Otherwise you'll get full up by the time the 3rd course is done. And that is rather a faux pas. Well, whether I agree with it or no, the idea is that if you've eaten enough to be stuffed before the meal is done, then you clearly lack self-control or whatever. At least, so says my etiquette teacher. He's a prick, by the way. Oh yes, he is. In a sense, he's just doing a job, but... he's so stuck in the past, you know? Refuses to acknowledge that culture changes, people change. That perhaps a few of his lessons are rather antiquated. He buys in fully to a lot of strange ideas. See, if he heard the way I explained to you how dining at a ball is done, he'd be appalled, honestly. Because in his eyes, that is true. If you can't restrain yourself, then clearly you lack self-control. Is it really so bad to want to indulge every now and then? To enjoy the things you genuinely like? I did have a second one of those little tuna biscuits. They were delicious. Quite worth the minor stomachache I had from eating too much. Ah, you're wondering if I failed to match up to etiquette. Well, that's the secret, isn't it? You can truly eat as much as you like, so long as you can pretend you don't feel it. And if there's one thing I've learned as a princess, it's how to pretend. Oh, don't look at me like that. It's life, isn't it? We all have duties, responsibilities, roles to play. I'm not someone in need of pity. Certainly not. There are many less fortunate. My biggest problems are, well, I suppose the inability to marry for love is rather high on the list. And the need to put on a front, but I get to wear the finest clothes, eat the finest foods, sleep beneath the finest of sheets. There are people out there starving, you know. My father lets them. What a world we live in. I am the king's eldest daughter, and I will never rule. Instead, that will go to whichever man he weds to me. Isn't that just horrid? I have so many ideas, so many things I'd like to do to change the world. But the most I will ever be able to do is whisper into the ear of a man in power and hope he'll listen to one he's ostensibly meant to care for. We should never have people starving. And yet, we do. Come, lie down in the bed. Yes, lie down in my bed. Oh, no, no, no. You misunderstand. I did proposition you earlier, but that's not what this is. You're exhausted. You need rest. Tonight you dined on some of the finest food. You had your skin pampered with some of the finest products. Tonight you will sleep beneath the finest silks. I cannot give everyone the luxury that I believe they deserve. I lack the power to even ensure they all have roofs over their heads. As the princess, and never the monarch, that shall ever be the case. I personally will lack that power, but what power I do have, here and now, is to give you, specifically, the chance to experience such a thing. So lie down. Lie down next to me. Close your eyes and listen as I whisper you to sleep. You are my most dear and loyal servant. You are hardworking, you are competent, you are brave. Indeed, you are brave, for it takes such courage to surround yourself by the snakes of the court. It takes great courage indeed to express yourself freely in front of your lady. But you did so tonight, and you are being rewarded for that bravery. Close your eyes. Lean back in my bed. Feel the sheets on your skin. The nice, cool, comfortable pillow. I'm quite certain this is likely the softest bed you've ever lied upon, isn't it? And you deserve it. You deserve every ounce of this luxury, of this peace, of this tranquility. You deserve to be served and cared for in all the ways you serve and care for me. Perhaps you deserve it more than I do, seeing as how you work so hard for so little, and I work so little for so much. The circumstances of birth are what have granted me these privileges, nothing more. You truly are the one more deserving. No, you're not going to argue the point. I'm not making the claim that I'm worthless, or that I'm a bad person. Merely that you are an exemplary one. You're gorgeous. You're kind. You're thorough with your work. You so clearly care for me, more than just as a servant to a lady, but as a friend at least. You do ever so much for me, and I feel so very happy to have the chance to do something like this for you. So rest for me. Let yourself drift to sleep. And when your eyes are finally fully closed, and you're drifting away into that calm and quiet oblivion, I shall slip from this bed. I shall undress myself and put on my nightgown, for I am in fact quite capable of doing so alone. And I shall brush my own hair out and apply my own cream. And when all is ready and all is done, I shall oh so delicately and ever so gently crawl back into bed with you and rest beside you. And I shall be here when you wake. we can resume our normal duties, our regular roles. You can return to be the devoted servant, and I the pampered princess. But for tonight, it is an honor to serve you. Indeed, it truly, truly is. Let your breathing slow, let your thoughts wander and drift away into the land of dreams. My dear servant.